If you're a man over 60, you've probably heard the advice to eat more vegetables to stay healthy. But what if some of those so-called healthy veggies in your fridge are quietly sabotaging your energy, your prostate health, and even your manhood? It's not just aging. It's what you're eating that might be stealing your vitality. I'm Dr. Mariah, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond reclaim their strength, confidence, and sexual function naturally. Through my work, I've discovered something surprising. Some vegetables commonly praised for their heart benefits contain substances that increase estrogen, promote inflammation, and cause artery stiffness. These hidden effects can lead to a loss of testosterone, leaving you feeling tired, less virile, and frustrated. But don't worry. In this video, I'll reveal 3 vegetables you should avoid and 3 powerful ones you should embrace instead. I'll also share the best ways to prepare them so your body absorbs their benefits fully. Stick with me, and you'll never look at your plate the same way again. This is about reclaiming your health and living strong, no matter your age. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Problem identification and stories. The harmful vegetable number 1, soy, and its phytoestrogens' impact on testosterone. For most of his life, James had done everything right, at least, according to the health advice he'd always heard. After a mild heart scare in his early 60s, he took his doctor's recommendations seriously, swapping red meat and dairy for tofu, soy milk, and edamame. He was diligent about his new diet, reading every label, steering clear of saturated fats, and making sure he got his daily vegetables. His wife cheered his commitment, and his friends even teased him about always having a carton of soy milk on hand at every golf outing. To James, this change felt like the responsible thing to do, a way to be there for his family for years to come. But not long after these changes, he noticed something unsettling. The spark that once defined him began to fade. At first, it was just a lack of energy. His golf game, once sharp, fell off. Climbing stairs left him short of breath, and an evening spent with friends required a recovery nap the next day. Worst of all, the intimacy he'd always enjoyed with his wife was now a source of quiet frustration. The desire was there in his mind, but his body simply didn't respond the way it used to. He chalked it up to age, a normal part of growing older, or so he thought. When he finally worked up the nerve to bring these concerns to his doctor, he found himself both embarrassed and confused. His cholesterol and blood pressure were under control, he exercised regularly, and he'd followed every heart-healthy guideline to the letter. Why, then, did he feel so much less like himself? That question led to a set of blood tests, which revealed something unexpected. James's testosterone was at the low end for a man his age, but even more surprising, his estrogen levels were higher than what's typical for older men. This news felt like a punch to the gut. James had always associated estrogen with women's health, not his own. He asked his doctor, "How could this happen? I'm just eating healthy." That's when the conversation turned to one of the most overlooked dietary dangers for older men: soy and its phytoestrogens. You see, soybeans and soy-based products are packed with compounds called phytoestrogens, plant-derived chemicals that mimic estrogen, the primary female sex hormone. In small amounts, phytoestrogens are harmless. But when you make soy a daily staple, as James had, you begin to tip the delicate hormonal balance that supports male health, especially after 60. For men, testosterone is more than just a hormone. It's the fuel for energy, muscle strength, confidence, clear thinking, and yes, sexual vitality. Naturally, as men age, testosterone levels decline. That's expected. But when a man's body is flooded with additional estrogen-like compounds from his diet, the scale tips even further away from vitality. This can mean lower sex drive, persistent fatigue, softer muscles, mood changes, and difficulties with erections, often all at once. James was stunned. Like many Americans, he trusted the message that soy was a miracle food, good for the heart, high in protein, and a smart swap for animal products. The truth is more nuanced, especially for men over 60. In places like Japan, where soy is eaten traditionally, it's used as a condiment or side dish, not as a main protein source. Here in the US, soy is in everything. Soy milk, tofu, veggie burgers, protein bars, salad dressings, even many processed snacks. Most men have no idea just how much soy sneaks into their diet each day. So, what exactly are phytoestrogens, and why are they problematic? These plant estrogens are capable of binding to estrogen receptors in the male body. While they aren't as strong as the estrogen your body produces, their constant presence can be enough to disrupt the finely tuned balance between testosterone and estrogen. For an older man, whose testosterone is already naturally declining, this extra push can tip the scales, leading to what some experts call male estrogen dominance. Symptoms often include low libido, belly fat, emotional swings, foggy memory, and the classic low energy that seems to have no explanation. For James, it all finally made sense. The very foods he turned to for health, soy milk in his cereal, tofu in his stir-fry, edamame as a snack, were, in reality, undermining the vitality he worked so hard to preserve. The good news is, the solution isn't drastic or complicated. It starts with awareness and small changes. At his doctor's advice, James began swapping out his daily soy milk for almond milk and reaching for eggs, fish, and chicken instead of tofu or veggie burgers. At first, he missed the familiar taste and convenience, but after a few weeks, he noticed a real change. His mornings felt lighter. He looked forward to playing golf again. Most importantly, intimacy with his wife stopped feeling like a struggle and started feeling like a joyful part of life once more. It's important to say that soy isn't inherently bad. It's the amount and frequency that matter, especially for men in their later years. An occasional handful of edamame or a splash of soy sauce won't hurt you. But making soy a daily staple, or consuming it in processed foods multiple times a day, can contribute to those quiet shifts in energy, mood, and masculinity that many men chalk up to just getting old. Even more concerning is how hidden soy has become in the American food landscape. Because it's inexpensive, protein-rich, and has a reputation for being healthy, food manufacturers use soy and its byproducts in everything from bread to granola bars, salad dressings to energy drinks. If you start reading labels, you'll be surprised by how many items in your kitchen contain soy protein, soy lecithin, or soybean oil. For men over 60, who already face an uphill battle to maintain healthy testosterone levels, this stealthy intake of phytoestrogens can slowly erode what makes them feel vibrant and alive. The symptoms are subtle at first: a little extra fatigue, some difficulty sleeping, a drop in motivation. Over time, these changes add up, sometimes culminating in full-blown andropause, the male version of menopause. But knowledge is power. As James learned, you don't need to give up on feeling energetic, confident, or masculine just because you've passed a certain birthday. By simply adjusting your diet, being mindful of how much soy you're eating, and choosing cleaner sources of protein, you can reclaim that spark. James's story is just one of many I've witnessed as a physician, and the science backs it up. When men reduce soy and processed foods from their diets, many experience renewed vigor, a healthier waistline, and a more positive outlook on life. As you look in your fridge or pantry, it's worth asking yourself, how much of what you're eating every day contains soy? Are you unconsciously welcoming these plant estrogens into your body, hoping for good health, while they silently chip away at your strength and energy? It's a question that's become more urgent as our diets have shifted further and further from whole foods toward processed, packaged convenience. The journey to renewed vitality starts on your plate, not in a pill bottle. If you're a man over 60 or care about one, pay close attention to what's in your food, and permit yourself to question the mainstream advice you've always followed. With a few smart swaps and a bit of curiosity, you may be amazed at the strength, energy, and sense of self that returns, no matter your age. The harmful vegetable number 2. Processed corn products, inflammation and artery stiffness. Robert had always prided himself on living a life guided by common sense and good intentions. He grew up in the Midwest, surrounded by golden cornfields that seemed to stretch forever under the summer sun. Corn was in everything: cornbread at family dinners, fresh corn on the cob at 4th of July cookouts, popcorn during Saturday night movies with the grandkids. To him, corn wasn't just a food, it was a part of his American identity. So, when Robert began paying closer attention to his health after turning 62, it felt only natural to keep corn as a staple in his diet. He believed that switching from butter to heart-healthy margarine was a smart move, just as his doctor suggested. He stocked up on low-fat salad dressings, snacks labeled as vegetable-based, and breakfast bars that boasted all-natural ingredients. Like many, he thought that if something was plant-based, it had to be good for him. But, not long after making these changes, Robert began to notice changes in his body that didn't make sense. He was always tired, dragging himself out of bed in the morning and barely making it through the day. His knees and shoulders ached, making it difficult to keep up with his grandkids or work in the yard. And most worryingly, he started to notice that his body just didn't respond the way it used to. Not in energy, not in movement, and certainly not in the bedroom. For a man who had always been active, this slow decline was both confusing and demoralizing. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When Robert finally went to see his doctor, he shared his frustrations, expecting to hear that he needed more exercise or maybe a new prescription. But after reviewing his diet and running some blood work, his doctor saw something different. Robert's body was showing signs of chronic inflammation. His arteries weren't as flexible as they should be. His healthy choices weren't leading him to a better life. They were quietly undermining his well-being. At first, Robert was shocked. He didn't smoke, rarely drank, and walked nearly every day. But as he and his doctor dug deeper, a new culprit emerged: processed corn products. Not the occasional ear of sweet corn at a summer picnic, but the hidden corn lurking in so many modern foods: corn syrup, cornstarch, corn oil, and the countless processed items they help create. For most Americans, corn is almost invisible in their diet, even though it's everywhere. Because corn is inexpensive and easy to grow, food companies use it to make sweeteners, oils, thickeners, and fillers. If you look at the label on almost any packaged food, cereal, bread, sauces, snacks, you'll find one of corn's many faces: high fructose corn syrup, corn oil, or cornstarch. It's easy to think that if something comes from a plant, it must be healthy. But the way corn is processed in the modern food system changes its effects on our bodies. Instead of the fiber-rich, nutrient-dense whole corn that Robert's grandmother used in her chowders, today's corn products are highly refined. They lose most of their natural vitamins and minerals, and what's left are calories and a specific kind of fat that's easy to overconsume. One of the biggest problems with processed corn products is their abundance of omega-6 fatty acids. Our bodies need a certain balance of omega-6 and omega-3 fats to function at their best. Omega-3s, found in fish, walnuts, and flaxseed, help reduce inflammation and keep our cells working smoothly. Omega-6, while necessary in small amounts, can cause trouble when they overwhelm the diet, as is common in the American food landscape. When Robert started swapping butter for margarine, adding low-fat salad dressings, and snacking on processed foods, he was unknowingly flooding his system with omega-6 fats, especially from corn oil. Over time, this imbalance created the perfect storm: a low-grade, chronic inflammation that never seemed to go away. But what does inflammation mean for someone like Robert? It isn't always as dramatic as a swollen joint or a visible rash. In many cases, it's like a small fire smoldering inside the body, slowly damaging tissues and organs over months and years. This kind of inflammation quietly erodes the flexibility of blood vessels. The inner lining of the arteries, the endothelium, becomes less able to produce nitric oxide, a molecule crucial for relaxing and widening blood vessels. Without it, arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, and blood flow throughout the body, especially to places where it's needed for intimacy and energy, starts to falter. As Robert learned, chronic inflammation doesn't just cause joint pain or stiffness, it can also affect the heart, the brain, and the ability to live life to the fullest. Even worse, it can sneak up on you. There's no sudden warning sign, just a gradual dulling of vitality. For men over 60, this often shows up as constant fatigue, aches, and a creeping sense that they're losing their edge. The role of corn in all this surprised Robert. He thought he was making better choices, but each bottle of salad dressing, every granola bar, every scoop of margarine was adding to the fire. The high levels of omega-6 from processed corn oils and the excess sugar from corn syrup were fueling his body's inflammation every day. The solution, as his doctor explained, wasn't about giving up corn entirely. Fresh corn on the cob at a barbecue or homemade cornbread at Thanksgiving was hardly the issue. The real danger was the processed corn that had become so deeply woven into the fabric of his daily meals. It was time to start reading labels, to pay attention to ingredients, and to opt for whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible. Robert began making small changes, using olive oil instead of corn oil or margarine, switching to salad dressings he made at home, and trading in packaged snacks for fresh fruits, nuts, and seeds. It didn't happen overnight, but after a month, he felt different. The aching in his joints eased. He slept more soundly. The spark in his mornings returned, and much to his delight, he even noticed a change in his energy and drive. His follow-up visit showed improvements in his blood work. For the first time in years, he felt like he was moving forward, not just getting older. What Robert's story teaches is that health isn't just about following trends or picking the foods that advertising claims are good for us. Sometimes, the things we trust the most, plant-based, low-fat, heart-healthy labels, can be deceiving. Especially for men over 60, paying attention to processed ingredients like corn oil, corn syrup, and other refined corn products can make all the difference. Ultimately, the lesson is this: small fires of inflammation can rob you of the energy, vitality, and joy you deserve in your golden years. By making conscious choices, reading ingredient lists, and returning to simple, whole foods, you can put out those fires and restore the flexibility in your arteries, the strength in your step, and the pleasure in your everyday life. Sometimes, a little knowledge and a few changes in the kitchen are all it takes to start feeling like yourself again, no matter your age. The harmful vegetable number 3, raw spinach, oxalates reduce zinc absorption. For William, staying healthy in retirement was practically a full-time job. At 67, he was still running local 5K races, keeping up with his grandkids, and rarely missed a morning without his signature green smoothie. He'd read every magazine article about superfoods, and spinach, especially raw spinach, was at the top of every list. He'd blend handfuls of baby spinach with frozen berries and protein powder, confident that he was feeding his body everything it needed for a long, strong life. But as the months went on, something started to feel off. Despite all his efforts, William found his energy flagging. He felt sluggish on his morning runs, as if his legs were made of lead. He was unusually irritable and distracted, forgetting small things and struggling to finish his daily crossword. Most distressingly, he noticed a gradual decline in his libido, and intimacy with his wife became less frequent and more frustrating. He brushed it off as just another sign of aging, but the changes weighed on him. It was during a routine checkup that William mentioned these symptoms to his doctor. Expecting to hear the usual advice, more rest, maybe a few vitamins, he was surprised when the doctor ordered a comprehensive blood test, including testosterone and mineral levels. The results caught both of them off guard. William's testosterone was low for his age, and more strikingly, his zinc levels were alarmingly depleted. William was confused. He ate a varied diet and even took a daily multivitamin. He'd always associated zinc with meat and seafood, but he ate chicken and fish several times a week. Why would he be so deficient? His doctor asked him to walk through his daily routine, every detail, from his morning habits to his favorite meals. As soon as William mentioned his large, daily raw spinach smoothie, the doctor paused. Here's the thing. While raw spinach is packed with vitamins and minerals, it also contains a sneaky compound called oxalate. Oxalates are tiny, naturally occurring molecules found in many plants. In the body, they act as mineral magnets, binding to crucial nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and most importantly for men, zinc. When you eat a lot of raw spinach, these oxalates latch onto zinc in your digestive tract, making it nearly impossible for your body to absorb it. Over time, even if you're eating foods rich in zinc or taking supplements, those nutrients simply pass right through you, unusable. For men over 60, zinc is more than just a trace mineral. It's a cornerstone of male health, critical for maintaining healthy testosterone levels, prostate function, immune strength, and even cognitive sharpness. Low zinc can lead to low testosterone, reduced energy, and, yes, a fading libido. William's well-intentioned quest for health was, ironically, robbing him of the very minerals his body needed most. It felt like a betrayal. He'd grown up thinking spinach was practically a miracle food, Popeye's secret to superhuman strength. In reality, he'd been unknowingly setting himself up for fatigue and hormonal imbalance. His doctor explained that many people make the same mistake, convinced that the more greens, the better. But for older adults, especially men concerned with testosterone, moderation and preparation matter just as much as quantity. William felt a mix of frustration and relief. At least now there was an explanation, and, better yet, a solution. His doctor reassured him that spinach could still be a valuable part of his diet, but how he consumed it made all the difference. The secret lay in the kitchen. When spinach is cooked, steamed, sautéed, or even microwaved for a couple of minutes, the oxalate content drops dramatically. Heating breaks down the oxalate crystals, releasing the minerals so your body can absorb them. With this simple change, William could still enjoy his favorite vegetable, but now in omelets, stir-fries, or lightly cooked as a side. Skeptical but willing to try, William swapped out his green smoothies for breakfast scrambles with spinach sautéed in olive oil and garlic. He enjoyed a spinach salad every now and then but made sure to keep his portions modest and mixed with other greens like arugula or romaine. Within a few weeks, the difference was undeniable. His energy came back. He looked forward to his runs again, and his times improved. Even more noticeable, the spark in his relationship returned. He felt more himself, less weighed down by fatigue or self-doubt. His next blood test confirmed the improvement. Zinc levels had bounced back, and his testosterone was on the rise. William was thrilled, not just with the numbers, but with how he felt in his skin. It was as if the fog had lifted, and he could enjoy the life he worked so hard for. William's story isn't unique. Many well-meaning Americans, especially those eager to eat healthy, load up on raw spinach in juices and salads without realizing the hidden risk. For most younger adults, the body can handle the oxalates in moderation, but as we age, our absorption and digestion change. Minerals become harder to hold onto, making every meal's composition more important. The lesson here isn't to fear spinach, but to respect it. Enjoy it as part of a varied, colorful diet, but don't let it dominate every meal, especially not in its raw form day after day. Cooking spinach is a simple act with big rewards, unlocking its nutrients and ensuring your body gets what it needs to thrive. Sometimes, doing more isn't the answer. Doing things smarter is. For men over 65, paying attention to the little details, how you prepare your food, which ingredients dominate your plate, can mean the difference between dragging yourself through the day and truly enjoying your golden years. William's journey shows that even a small change in the kitchen can spark big improvements in your energy, your mood, and your zest for life. So, the next time you reach for that bag of baby spinach or fire up the blender for your morning smoothie, remember William's story. Take a moment to sauté, steam, or stir-fry those greens, and give your body a fighting chance to absorb every ounce of nourishment. You've earned it, and your health is worth that extra step. Personal patient stories illustrating these effects. James, Robert, William. For many men over 60, the search for good health is like walking a tightrope, balancing the latest advice, the pressure to eat right, and the desire to stay strong and independent. James, Robert, and William were three men from different walks of life, each determined to do their best as they entered their golden years. Yet, despite their efforts, they found themselves struggling with issues they never expected, until a deeper look at their diets revealed the hidden culprits. James's story. The soy swap. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. James had always prided himself on being practical. A retired school principal, he'd spent his life teaching others to think critically and make wise decisions. When his doctor warned him about his cholesterol in his mid-60s, James didn't hesitate. Out went the steak and eggs breakfasts, and in came tofu stir-fries, soy milk with oatmeal, and edamame as a snack. He felt confident he was making the smart, heart-healthy choice. After all, wasn't soy the darling of every nutrition headline? Yet within a year, James began to feel a subtle but steady decline. He found himself constantly tired, no longer waking up with the same eagerness for his day. More troubling was the growing distance in his marriage, not in affection, but in physical connection. Nights that once ended in closeness became silent and awkward. "I just don't feel like myself anymore," he finally confessed to his doctor, voice tight with embarrassment. Lab work showed a puzzle. His testosterone was at the low end of normal, but his estrogen was unusually high. It was only after a conversation about his diet that the picture became clear. The daily soy, the tofu, soy milk, even the protein bars, was flooding his system with phytoestrogens. For James, whose testosterone was already naturally declining with age, this was like pouring water on a dwindling fire. Once he replaced soy with eggs, fish, and the occasional chicken breast, it didn't take long for the spark to return. Within weeks, he felt a new spring in his step, and a grateful note from his wife made it clear. He was back in every sense. Robert's story. The processed corn trap. Robert, on the other hand, had always seen himself as a true son of the Midwest. Cornfields were the backdrop of his childhood, and corn was a symbol of comfort and family. As he aged, he did what he thought was best, following his doctor's advice to swap out butter for margarine and load up on vegetable-based foods. Heart healthy, the packages claimed, and Robert felt good about it. But as the months wore on, Robert's body felt less like his own. Aches set in, knees, shoulders, even his fingers. His mornings started slow and ended with early fatigue. What scared him most was his fading vigor. He just didn't have the drive, physically or mentally, that he used to. He chalked it up to getting older, but deep down, he wondered if something else was wrong. A doctor's visit and a round of blood work revealed a silent battle. His body was inflamed. The healthy margarine and low-fat dressings he was using were packed with processed corn oils, heavy in omega-6 fats. Combined with hidden corn syrup in his snacks and sauces, this set the stage for chronic, low-grade inflammation that stiffened his arteries and dulled his energy. The solution wasn't complicated. He switched to olive oil, cut down on processed foods, and started reading every label. The results were dramatic. His joint pain eased, his mornings became brighter, and a renewed sense of vitality returned. For Robert, the lesson was clear. Sometimes what's easy and familiar can quietly sap your strength. William's story. The spinach setback. William was always the healthy one in his group of friends. Even in his late 60s, he was still running local races, convinced that eating clean and green was the secret to staying young. His mornings started with a big smoothie, raw spinach, berries, protein powder. It looked like the very picture of health. But gradually, William found himself dragging. His runs felt heavy, his thoughts foggy, and intimacy with his wife became infrequent and frustrating. A visit to his doctor revealed that, despite his perfect diet, his zinc was low and so was his testosterone. It seemed impossible, until his doctor explained that raw spinach is high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind to minerals like zinc and carry them out of the body before they can be absorbed. William's daily green smoothies were robbing him of the mineral he needed most. The fix was simple: cook the spinach. Heating breaks down most of the oxalates and lets the zinc do its job. William switched to omelets with sautéed spinach and salads with more variety. Within weeks, his energy and drive returned, and he felt more like himself than he had in years. The science checked out, his labs improved, and so did his zest for life. Shared lessons. Though James, Robert, and William came from different backgrounds, their stories share a powerful message for every man in his 60s, 70s, or beyond. Health isn't just about eating more vegetables. It's about understanding which ones, and how they're prepared, can either help or quietly harm. Soy, so often touted as a miracle food, can tip hormones in the wrong direction for older men. Processed corn products, everywhere in our food system, can stir up a fire of inflammation that steals energy and stiffens arteries. Even a nutritional superstar like spinach, when eaten raw in excess, can silently strip away minerals critical for male strength. But knowledge is power. For these men, small changes made all the difference. Swapping soy for whole proteins, reading labels to avoid corn oils and syrups, and simply cooking their greens led to real, tangible improvements, not just on paper, but in their everyday lives. They regained their energy, their confidence, and the close connections that make life truly rich. Their journeys are a reminder to every older man. Don't just accept declining vitality as the price of aging. Sometimes, the answers are hiding in plain sight, on your plate and in your pantry. With a bit of wisdom, a willingness to change, and the courage to ask new questions, you can reclaim the health, strength, and joy you deserve, no matter how many birthdays you've celebrated. Solution and recommendations. The beneficial vegetable number 1. Beets, boosting nitric oxide and circulation. For men over 60, the battle to maintain energy, vitality, and good health often feels like a never-ending challenge. As our bodies age, circulation can slow, arteries stiffen, and blood flow to key organs, including those that keep us feeling strong and confident, can diminish. But hidden within a humble root vegetable lies a natural power that can turn the tide: the beet. Beets aren't just colorful and delicious, they are nature's circulation boosters. These deep red orbs are packed with nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that plays a crucial role in relaxing and widening blood vessels. Think of nitric oxide as the body's firefighter, ready to blast open clogged or stiff arteries and improve blood flow everywhere it's needed. Meet James again, a man who, after making positive changes in his diet, discovered the magic of beets. After replacing some less helpful foods with beets, James found his mornings brighter, his energy higher, and his confidence restored. His circulation improved, meaning oxygen and nutrients were delivered more efficiently to his muscles and organs, including his prostate and heart. Science backs up James's experience. Studies show that beet juice can reduce blood pressure, improve exercise performance, and enhance endothelial function, the health of the artery linings, especially in older adults. For men over 60, this translates to better cardiovascular health, more sustained energy throughout the day, and improved sexual function. But the benefits don't stop there. Nitric oxide produced from beets also plays a key role in supporting erections. When blood vessels relax and open wide, blood flow to the penis improves, helping to maintain firmness and response. This is why beets have earned a reputation as a natural ally for men struggling with vitality. However, not all beets are created equal in this regard. The way you prepare and consume them matters. Fresh, raw beets, grated into salads or lightly roasted, retain their nitrate content better than canned or pickled versions. Processing, canning, and high heat tend to destroy the nitrates that make beets so beneficial. So, while those jarred pickled beets might taste great, they don't offer the same health boost. James learned this the hard way. For a time, he relied on canned beets for convenience, but when his doctor suggested fresh or lightly cooked beets instead, he noticed the difference. Grating raw beets into salads or steaming them lightly helped him get the full effect of their circulation-boosting power. Incorporating beets into your diet is easier than you might think. Start your day with a beet and berry smoothie, add grated beets to a fresh salad, or roast slices of beets with olive oil and herbs as a side dish. Even beet juice shots are gaining popularity for their potent nitrate punch. Beyond circulation, beets also offer a wealth of other nutrients: fiber, folate, vitamin C, and antioxidants that support overall health and well-being. For men over 60, who often face a higher risk of chronic disease, this combination of nutrients provides extra protection and vitality. Beets have quietly earned their place as a cornerstone of natural health strategies for aging men. Their ability to boost nitric oxide and improve blood flow makes them invaluable for maintaining not just heart health, but also the energy and sexual function that so many men want to preserve. So, if you're looking to support your circulation, enhance your vitality, and reclaim the energy of your younger years, consider making beets a regular part of your meals. This vibrant vegetable may just be the natural key to unlocking better health, one delicious bite at a time. The beneficial vegetable number 2, broccoli, hormonal balance, sulforaphane benefits. As men age, maintaining hormonal balance becomes a crucial part of staying healthy, energetic, and confident. Testosterone, the hormone often called the male hormone, naturally declines with time, and when it dips too low, men can experience fatigue, loss of muscle mass, decreased libido, and even mental fog. But there's a powerful vegetable that can help support healthy hormone levels and detoxify harmful compounds in the body: broccoli. Broccoli is often celebrated as a superfood, and for good reason. Beyond its fiber and vitamins, broccoli contains a unique compound called sulforaphane, which has remarkable health-promoting properties. Sulforaphane acts as a natural detoxifier, boosting the liver's ability to clear excess estrogen, a hormone that, when out of balance, can interfere with testosterone's effects in men. Meet Robert again, a man who had experienced nagging symptoms of fatigue and low vitality. He'd faithfully included broccoli in his dinner every night, convinced it was doing his body good. However, Robert's energy wasn't improving, and his nighttime trips to the bathroom were becoming more frequent. When his doctor dug deeper into how he prepared his broccoli, a surprising discovery was made. Robert was microwaving it for 5 minutes until soft, which destroyed most of the sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is heat-sensitive and delicate. Cooking broccoli quickly by steaming it lightly, just 3 to 4 minutes, or eating it raw with a healthy dip preserves its powerful benefits. Overcooking or microwaving broccoli, while convenient, turns this vegetable into little more than fiber without the hormonal support men need. Sulforaphane does more than just detox estrogen. It also reduces systemic inflammation and supports the health of the prostate, a vital organ for men's urinary and sexual health. Inflammation can fuel prostate enlargement and discomfort, issues common for men over 60, and sulforaphane's anti-inflammatory effects may help protect against these problems. When Robert adjusted how he ate his broccoli, steaming it lightly instead of microwaving, he noticed subtle but important changes. His energy levels improved, nighttime bathroom trips decreased, and overall, he felt more balanced and less burdened by the symptoms that had dogged him for months. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Science supports these observations. Research has shown that sulforaphane activates protective enzymes in the liver, which help clear harmful estrogen metabolites from the body. By keeping estrogen in check, broccoli helps maintain the critical balance between estrogen and testosterone, key for men wanting to keep their vitality and masculinity intact. Broccoli is also rich in vitamins C and K, fiber, and minerals that promote heart health, digestion, and immune function, all essential factors for healthy aging. Unlike supplements that often come with questionable absorption and side effects, broccoli offers a natural, food-based way to nurture your body's hormonal health without added risk. Incorporating broccoli into your diet can be simple and delicious. Add steamed broccoli as a side with your dinner. Toss raw broccoli florets into salads, or blend them into soups. For those who love dips, raw broccoli with hummus or guacamole offers both flavor and nutrition. Just remember, keep the cooking gentle to preserve sulforaphane's magic. Men over 60 who prioritize their health understand that aging doesn't have to mean giving up vitality. Vegetables like broccoli are more than just nutritious. They're tools to support the body's complex hormonal systems naturally. When prepared right, broccoli can be a powerful ally in your daily routine, helping you feel stronger, sharper, and more balanced. So next time you reach for a vegetable, think broccoli, not just as a side dish, but as a proactive step toward maintaining your hormonal health, protecting your prostate, and reducing inflammation. With each bite, you're feeding your body the compounds it needs to keep you at your best, no matter your age. The beneficial vegetable number 3, mushrooms, aromatase inhibitors protecting testosterone. For men over 60, protecting testosterone isn't just about producing more, it's equally about preserving what's already there. As testosterone naturally declines with age, a sneaky enzyme called aromatase can accelerate the process by converting precious testosterone into estrogen, tipping the hormonal balance in the wrong direction. But nature offers a powerful defense in the form of a humble and widely available food: mushrooms. William, a 67-year-old marathon runner, had been working hard to maintain his health and stamina. After adjusting his diet to reduce soy and adding cooked spinach for better zinc absorption, William felt better, but something was still missing. His libido and competitive drive remained lower than he wanted, despite improvements in other areas. That's when his doctor introduced him to the concept of aromatase and the role mushrooms could play. Aromatase is an enzyme that increases in activity as men age, especially if they carry extra belly fat. This enzyme effectively robs testosterone by converting it into estrogen, contributing to symptoms like fatigue, mood swings, muscle loss, and reduced sexual desire. Controlling aromatase activity can help preserve free, active testosterone, the form that truly powers male strength and vitality. White button mushrooms, the kind you can easily find in any grocery store, contain natural aromatase inhibitors. These compounds block the enzyme's activity, helping keep testosterone in its active state rather than allowing it to convert to estrogen. Scientific studies, including research by the Beckman Research Institute, have confirmed these benefits, making mushrooms a simple yet effective weapon in the fight to maintain masculine hormone balance. Incorporating mushrooms into the diet isn't just about throwing them on pizza or salads. They can be a strategic addition to meals that protect and boost hormone health. William began sautéing mushrooms with garlic and olive oil a few times a week, enjoying their rich flavor while actively supporting his hormonal health. Within a month, he noticed a new depth in his voice and a return of his drive that he hadn't felt in over a decade. Mushrooms are also packed with other nutrients, like B vitamins, selenium, and antioxidants, that support immune function, energy production, and overall well-being, making them a valuable addition to any diet, especially for aging men. For those looking to maximize the benefits, it's best to consume mushrooms cooked rather than raw, as heat helps release their active compounds. Adding mushrooms to stir-fries, omelets, soups, or as a hearty side dish can easily become part of a delicious, testosterone-supporting routine. William's journey is a testament to the power of simple dietary choices. By understanding the role of aromatase and embracing mushrooms as natural inhibitors, he was able to protect his testosterone, improve his vitality, and regain the confidence and energy that make life fulfilling. For men over 60, the message is clear. Protecting your hormones is a holistic effort that includes not just producing testosterone but also shielding it from unnecessary loss. Mushrooms offer a natural, accessible way to do just that. So next time you shop, don't overlook this modest vegetable. Your hormones will thank you. As we've seen through James, Robert, and William's stories, the path to maintaining your strength, energy, and vitality after 60 isn't about quick fixes or miracle pills. It's about understanding how the foods on your plate impact your body, hormones, and overall health. Sometimes, the very vegetables we think of as healthy can quietly work against us, while others hold the key to restoring balance and vigor. Avoiding hidden pitfalls like soy, processed corn products, and raw spinach is just the start. Embracing natural heroes like fresh beets to boost your circulation, broccoli to balance hormones, and mushrooms to protect your testosterone can make a profound difference in how you feel day to day. Small changes in how you prepare and eat these vegetables amplify their benefits and help you regain control over your health. You don't have to accept the tiredness, frustration, or loss of confidence that can come with aging. The power to turn things around is right there in your kitchen. By choosing your foods wisely and preparing them properly, you can nourish your body, support your hormones, and reclaim the energy and drive that make life truly enjoyable. If this video resonated with you or someone you care about, I encourage you to share it. Your story, your questions, or even a simple thank you in the comments could inspire others to take that first step toward better health. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with friends and family, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss valuable tips to help you age gracefully and live powerfully. Together, we can rethink what it means to grow older, not as a decline, but as a new chapter filled with strength, wisdom, and vitality. Thank you for being part of this journey.